Welcome back to our final session of Celebration 2020. Again, I'm your host, Kasaya Setnar. Thanks so much for tuning in with us. It's an honor to introduce our keynote speaker today, Mr. Jordan Adler, also known as Mr. Beach Money. At 34, Jordan was living in an enclosed garage with $200 in rent every month and 2 roommates. He carried $36,000 in credit card debt on 22 different credit cards and had a job that paid him only $14,000 a year. Over the past 27 years, he has become one of the top networkers in the world, earning him in excess of $22 million. He wrote the worldwide bestseller Beach Money, and 100% of his profits go to charity Kiva.org. His book has been out for over a decade, and he still sells thousands of copies and just launched his second book, of course titled Better Than Beach Money, in early 2019. His publishing company, Beach Money Publications, was just launched within the past 90 days. He splits his time between his 2 mountain homes, a condo in the Vegas Strip, and of course, the beach. 4 years ago, he decided to get his helicopter pilot's license and for fun, recently purchased his own helicopter. He is also scheduled to become the first network marketer to travel to space as part of Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic civilian space program. Jordan believes that a big dream and being willing to work hard and never quit is the secret to success. Please help me welcome our keynote, Jordan Adler.
Hi, my name is Jordan Adler, and I am the author of Beach Money and Better Than Beach Money. And Calvin asked if I would speak to you about the dynamics of creating momentum. And I can speak on this because I've taken 2 organizations and two different companies into momentum. So unless you've experienced it, you probably have no idea what it feels like. It feels really good. So imagine hundreds or even thousands of new people joining your organization every month. Imagine your checks going up by anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 per month or even more. This is what happens when a company or an organization or a business goes into momentum. And as I said, it's really fun. And there are principles that will position you for this kind of explosive growth. And that's what we're going to be talking about here. Now, I spent some time on the phone with Jeff and Calvin, and I wanted to learn a little bit more about your company. And you have such a cool story, and I'm super excited to share some really fun training with you. I'm impressed with your leadership, with your products, with your culture, and you're fortunate to have real life leadership in Jeffrey, Nicole, and Calvin to assist you in growing your business. So they are the real deal. Momentum is somewhat of a myth, and it doesn't happen the way that most people think it does. So for example, if you have an organization of 20,000 people and 10% of those people, or 2,000 of them, bring in 2 new merchandisers or distributors that month, you've just added 4,000 new merchandisers to your organization, and that occurs as momentum. But what was that? It was 20,000 people that only 10% of them brought in 2 people. But this is what, in real life, this is what momentum typically looks like. Now, if you don't have 20,000 people on your team, don't worry about it. We're going to tackle that on this training. But be prepared to hit your business hard for 2 to 3 years to create that spark of momentum. And you can do this, and it's worth it. Now, I have a home in an old mountain town. It's an old mining town called Jerome, Arizona, and it's on the side of the mountain. Looks like a big tree house. And on the 3rd level, I've got some hummingbird feeders out on the deck, and I was getting ready to leave my home for about a month, and I was getting ready to lock everything up, and I had the screen door open to the deck on the 3rd level, and a hummingbird flew right into my living room and went straight over to the picture window. And for the next hour, it tried to escape through the picture window. I was trying to get it to refocus its attention towards that wide open screen door so it could fly to freedom, but it was insistent on trying to fly out through that window. Now, that hummingbird has great flying skills. They know how to fly. And that hummingbird, no matter how good it flies, it's not getting out through that picture window. So I had to get it to refocus its attention, and they're very fast, and I couldn't do it. So I went into the kitchen and I got a pitcher and I tried to catch him, and they're just too fast. Well, eventually, after about 2 hours, it was very frustrating for me, extremely frustrating for the hummingbird. After about 2 hours, that hummingbird got tired and sat on the windowsill, and I went over and just scooped it up, and it sat on the rim of the pitcher, and I walked it out over to the door, and it flew to freedom. Well, started thinking about it. One direction represents a struggle for that hummingbird and ultimately would lead to death. If I had left the house and shut the front door with that hummingbird in the living room, even if that door was wide open, that screen door, he would have died a painful death right there on that windowsill. Even though 10 feet away, that hummingbird would just have to shift its focus and it could effortlessly fly to freedom. So if that hummingbird got frustrated and tried to learn to fly better because he thought that was the problem, his skills, he would have died. It didn't have anything to do with the skills. It had to do with where he was focusing his attention. One direction represents struggle and ultimate death. The other direction is effortless and it leads to freedom. And so I'm going to suggest that during this training that you learn to shift your focus, especially if you're in struggle or if you're not in momentum or if your business isn't growing. Consider that it might be not a problem that's related to your skills, but more a problem that's related to your focus. And in probably 80% of the cases, it's a focus problem, not a skills problem. So let me start by telling you my network marketing success story. I had worked in jobs for 17 years. And in 1996, in 1992, I had been in 11 network marketing companies over the course of 10 years while I had jobs. I worked primarily in the airline industry, but I was also a landscape architect, and I was dabbling in different network marketing opportunities, and I truly was just dabbling. I got involved in 11 companies over the course of 10 years, never signed up a single person, not one. In 10 years, 11 companies. I would join a company, I would work it for 2 or 3 months, I would get frustrated, and I would quit. And then a few months later, I'd find another company. I was in Nishika 3D Cameras and Network 2000 and Sunset Travel Clubs and Amway twice, and I could go on. And I never made a penny, never signed up a single person. In 10 years, 11 different companies. Now, while I was doing that, I was working for an airline, and the airline never paid me much money. I was in management. I had a number of employees working for me. The most they ever paid me a job was $28,000 a year. And I was in the training department, and then they filed bankruptcy and cut my pay in half. So I was 34 years old, making $14,000 a year. I had roommates. I was living in a rental in Old Town Tempe. My rent was $200 a month. I had $36,000 in credit card debt on 22 credit cards. And I had a broken down Jeep sitting in the yard. And this is me at the age of 34 years old. I owned one suit, and I was bouncing checks at First Interstate Bank. Now, during this time, I met a guy named Russ Devan, and Russ was in his 20s, and he was a multi-millionaire at a young age, married with a little baby, living in a very, very big home in Scottsdale, Arizona off McDonald Drive. He was a network marketing millionaire in his 20s, and I met him at a coffee place, and we became friends, and he invited me to his home. And again, this was before I'd ever signed up anybody. And he had this giant bookshelf, and I remember being in his library, and he had hundreds and hundreds of books, and I was asking him questions, and he stopped me and he said, Jordan, he said, you need to understand that it doesn't matter if it's real estate, insurance, financial planning, or network marketing. In the business of recruiting, you need to be prepared to personally sponsor somewhere in the range of 20 to 30 people to find one that's going to do anything worth talking about. He said, for every 30 people you sponsor, a third of them are going to do nothing. A third of them are going to do a little. A third of them will do a little more than a little. And one out of 20 to 30 will do something worth talking about. So a third of them are going to quit. A third of them are probably going to be customers or maybe sign up 1 or 2 people. A third of them will just do a little more than a little. And one. And so I asked him about real estate, and we started talking about real estate. And, he said, and I agreed with this, and I've tested it since then, is if you're a real estate broker and you bring agents on, how many agents do you have to bring on to find one that's going to make $100,000 a year? People are people. It doesn't matter if it's network marketing or real estate. And most realtors will tell you that they have to bring in somewhere between 50 and 100 realtors to find one that's going to make $100,000 a year. Most of the realtors will take their test and never sell a single home. A third of them will never do a thing and never sell a home. A third of them will sell one home a year or maybe even a little less. A third of them might sell a couple, 3 homes a year, a little more than a little. And one will go off to make $100,000 a year or more. And network marketing is no different. I tracked, so he told me, or I actually kind of figured this out. We had a conversation, but I thought if I could personally show the business to 3 people a day, 3 people a week, every month, that's 12 people a month, and do that for 2 years, no matter what anybody said, nothing would get me to quit. Show the business 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at my lunches while I had my airline job. Every month, that's 12 a month, do that for 2 years. No matter what anybody said, if I just showed it that many times, surely I could bring in 1 per month out of 12 presentations a month. And so after 2 years, I'd have 24 people, which is in the range of what Russ was saying, 20 to 30. Well, that's what I did. I started booking myself at this little cafe right downstairs from my office and grabbing people from the airline and having them sit down with me and showing them what I was doing. Most of them weren't interested. Some of them gave me crazy excuses. But my goal wasn't to decide for them. My job was just to show it to them. And what ended up happening is I signed up a little less than 1 a month. But I kept track of myself. I actually kept track on a grid that I drew on my wall in the garage in my rental in Old Town Tempe. I drew a 3-foot by 4-foot grid with 100 squares. And every time I would share the business with somebody, I'd write a date in the grid. So I could go back and say, this week I showed 4, this week I showed 2, this week I only showed 1. But my goal was to do 3 a week for 2 years. 3 a week. That's something you can do very, very part-time, no matter what you have going on in your life. But I held myself accountable. You know, part of integrity is to do what you say you're going to do, but that includes for yourself. So I said to myself, I'm going to do 3 a week, and I held myself to that, and I kept track. And what ended up happening is after 2 years, I'd signed up 19 people. So I didn't meet my goal of 24, but my 16th person was a lady named Jackie Ulmer. Jackie was an analyst at the airline. Her husband was an airline pilot. And Jackie joined me in the business. She was my 16th. So after 2 years out of 19 people that I brought in, only one of them went to work, and that was Jackie. She brought in a woman in New Mexico who had never done network marketing. Her name was Judy Dubiel. Judy came into the business. Judy decided she wanted to do home parties. So she started inviting people over to her home. A couple times, myself and Jackie went to Albuquerque. We helped her do some presentations. And over the course of the next 3 years, her group added over 12,000 distributors and over 40,000 customers. And it made me my first $1 million in network marketing. Now, I was with that company for 13 years, which is 144 months. 13 years. I personally signed up less than 1 a month. So after 13 years, I'd signed up 129 people. That's less than 1 a month, but I was consistent. From those 129 people, there were 5, just 5. 124 of them either quit or became customers, but 5 of them led me to 85,000 distributors and over 250,000 customers, and I made $8 million with that company. Now, the only reason I'm not with that company today is because there was a major shift in the technology area, and it made our technology obsolete. And we went from being a $1.5 billion company to going away. Remember, your security is in your network. I had a good network now, right? So I joined a new company, and I've been with my new company for 16 years. And I did something a little different in my new company. I joined my new company, but this time I started showing the business 3 to 8 times per day. Not 3 times a week, but 3 to 8 times per day. And I started signing up about 1 person per day. By my 5th week, because there's follow-up involved, by my 5th week, I was signing about 1 person per day, and I did that for weeks. And so by my 5th month, I was at $10,000 a month. By the end of my 12th month, I was at $21,000 a month in income. By the end of my 2nd year, I was at $64,000 a month in income. And by the end of my 3rd year, I was over $100,000 a month. And this is what momentum feels like. But it doesn't happen by accident. It's because I was filling my calendar. Every day, I was filling my calendar with multiple appointments every day. Now, in the 2 companies combined, I've made $22 million. But the real question is, what is it going to take for you to hit momentum in your business? And I was not a master distributor in the company. I had no side deals. This was 100% from the compensation plan. And, you know, I speak, not for pay, but I speak at sometimes very large events like the GoPro event and the Mastermind events and things like that in front of thousands of people. I've done many, many presentations like that, generic crowds from many different network marketing organizations. And I was doing one, I've done this actually a number of times, where I brought up from the crowd some of the top earners in network marketing, where I'll put 20 or 30 people lined up on the stage that are all making between $50,000 a month and $500,000 a month. And I'll line them up on the stage, and everybody has the same story. I'll go down and I'll say, how long have you been with your company? And these are the top earners. And they tell me they've been with their company, most of them for a minimum of 3 years. Some of them 5 years, 10 years, or even as long as 30 years, but a minimum of 3 years. And I say, how many people have you personally brought into the business? And without exception, they'll say 100 people or more. So 100, 150, 200 people. Each person has a different story there, but they've all brought in over 100 people. They've been with their businesses for 3 years or more. They've brought in over 100 people or more. Some of them as many as 500 people. And then I'll ask the magic question. How many of those organizations, or how many of those people resulted in 95% of your income? And it didn't matter which one I talked to, all of them said 2 to 5. 2 to 5. I think there was one person that said 1, but Donna Johnson brought in 200 people in her 30-year career with Arbonne. And in that company, 2 of those organizations, 2 out of 200, result in 95% of her income, and she's a $500,000 a month earner, somewhere in that range. 2. And everybody's got the same story. Mine is the same. You know, I've probably signed up, in my current company, I've signed up over 500 people, and the bulk of my organization comes from about 5 of those people, 5 out of 500. So now you've got other people that, if you want to make a couple $1,000 a month or $1,000 a month, you don't need to sign up these kinds of numbers. But if you were to focus on 1 person a week or 4 people per month, let's talk about the power of 1. So in the job world, the difference between 4 and 3 is 1. That's in the traditional world. The difference between 4 and 3 is 1. But in our world, the difference between 4 and 3 is not 1. Let me explain. If you were to go out and get 3 merchandisers and they each went and found 3 merchandisers, you'd have 9 on your second level. And I'm giving, this is just an example. It really doesn't equate to a specific compensation plan, but we're just talking about people. So if you get 3 and they each get 3, that's 9. If they each get 3, that's 27. If they each get 3, 81, 243, 729, 2,187. That's if everyone went out and got 3. Now, again, in the job world, the difference between 4 and 3 is 1, but in our world, it's not. Because if you taught everybody to go get 1 more instead of 3, go out and get 4. So you get 4, they get 4, that's 16, they get 4, that's, and you carry that down all the way through 7 levels. On your 7th level, guess how many people? 16,000. So 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 through 7 generations is 2,187. 4 by 4 by 4 by 4 down on the 7 generations, just 1 more, is over 16,000. So the difference between 4 and 3 is not 1. The difference between 4 and 3 is thousands. Now let's take it one more step. Let's say everybody goes out and gets 5. So you get 5, they sponsor 5 total. That's all they do. You get 5, that's it. They each get 5. Won't happen like this in real life, but if it did, if they each get 5, that's 125 on the 3rd level. 7th level, you ready? 78,000. So the difference between 5 and 3 is not 2. The difference between 5 and 3 is tens of thousands. So a 3 by 3 is 2,187 on the 7th generation. 4 by 4 is 16,000 on the 7th generation. 5 by 5, just 1 more, 78,000 plus on the 7th generation. So what if you did not focus on bringing in 3? Some people just bring in 3 people and then they quit. What if you didn't focus on bringing in 4? Some people get 4 people and then they quit. What if you didn't focus on bringing in 5? What if you focused on working part-time, showing the business once a day, sponsoring 1 person per week for a couple of years? 1 person per week for a couple of years. That's 4 a month, 48 per year, 96 people. So you didn't focus on 3. you played the long game. You didn't focus on 3, you didn't focus on 4, you didn't focus on 5. You focused on bringing in 1 new personally sponsored merchandisers per week, because you're showing the business once a day at least, and you do that for 2 years, and you personally sign up 96 people. To create the equivalent, you decide, of a 3x3, 4x4, or 5x5. What if you could create the equivalent of a 4x4 with 16,000 people or 20,000 people? Because you went out and personally sponsored 96 people, not 3, not 4, not 5. What would happen if you took that and said, how many customers do each one of them have? You got 20,000 merchandisers and they each have, say, 3 customers as an example, or 2 customers on average. And those customers are spending money and there's volume and you're getting a percentage of that volume. You do the math and figure out what it would be. Your checks would be big. So here are 6 things that you can do now to create momentum in your business and in your team. So grab a pen. I'm going to encourage you to write these down. Number 1, we kind of talked about this. Commit to the long game. Commit to the long game. It was when I joined my 12th company and I had my 2-year plan. I recommend a 2 to 3 year plan, consistently showing the business every day. You should be doing that at least once a day, 5 days a week, to create a business that's really worth talking about if you want to create momentum, okay? Number 2, don't quit on a bad day. Every company I joined, I would work it for 2 or 3 months. I would have a really discouraging day, and on that day, I would quit. And I adopted a saying, don't quit on a bad day, because I've learned that you will have more discouraging days than you will have positive days, and it's your dreams that are going to carry you through. So you want to have dreams that are worthy of your life's work. So you want to make sure those dreams are out in front of you, and you want to have a philosophy that you're not going to quit on a bad day. All right. So if you're having a bad day, don't quit on that day. You can take a break, but don't quit. And then continue to stay moving, continue to stay in action, taking positive steps, and you will have a good day and you won't want to quit. And do that for 2 to 3 years minimum. And after 2 to 3 years, you won't want to quit. Number 3, what is your system for creating exposures every day? There's lots of different ways to show the business. And I imagine your leadership organization has some systems in place. You want to learn those systems. You want to become an expert on your systems. You don't have to wait till you're an expert, because you have experts around you that you can lean on, online presentations, Zoom meetings, things like that. There's probably videos. But what is your system? What's your system for presenting? What's your system for exposing the business? What's your system for following up? All that's important. It typically takes 5 to 8 exposures for somebody to pull the trigger normally. So if you just show it to them one time, or if you let your upline show it to them one time, or if you just have them watch a video and they don't sign up, that doesn't mean anything, because they've only got one exposure. If they're interested, you need to send them another video or invite them to another Zoom conference or whatever. Have a conversation, send them some text messages. 5 to 8 follow-up touch points before somebody typically takes action. So what is your system for creating exposures every day? Number 4, focus on relationships first. I see this over and over again in network marketing and in sales. The top people, the people that have built very, very large organizations, if something happens and they have to go to somewhere else, they almost always become the top people again. Why is that? It's because they've developed the skills and the network. It's all about your network and it's all about your skills. But you always want to focus on those relationships first. Relationships are the glue that hold your business together. Invite your team members to meet other team members in your business. That's important. Build friendships within the business, and then do everything you can to learn as much as possible about the people in your organization and connect with them on a regular basis. But focus on relationships first, because relationships are the thing that will drive the growth of your business ultimately. It's relationships and exposure. So number 5, work with those that step up versus those that need you. Work with those that step up versus those that need you. Now, this was a hard lesson for me to learn. I had been in my business for a number of months, my last business, not the one I'm in now. I'd never had an organization, and finally, I brought in a couple people, finally had a group of 40 people. And I was super excited. I had my list. I'd written down everybody's name. I had their phone number, their email address on my list, and every single week I was contacting each one of them, inviting them to the conference call, reminding them about things that were coming up. And I was getting frustrated because almost all of them would say they do it and then they wouldn't do it. They were letting me down. And so I contacted the co-founder of our company because I was getting so frustrated because I had friends who were growing really fast and my business wasn't growing fast. It was actually very stagnant at 40. And I had, it was the first organization I'd ever built in network marketing. I was super excited, but it wasn't growing like others. And he said, Jordan, I'm going to challenge you to do something that you're going to have a hard time to do. He said, but I want you to listen to me very carefully. He said, I want you to throw away that list. And I'm thinking, throw away the list of my people? He said, yes, throw it away. Stop calling everybody that needs you and start working with the ones that contact you, the ones that step up. That's what he said. And I said to him, I said, Steve, nobody's stepping up. He said, then you just need to go out and find people better than you. You got to go out and find some more people. He said, you want to be an example of success. You want to do what you want your team to do. So you don't want your team waiting. You want your team going out and presenting and bringing new people in so you bring new people in. So I went and did that. I threw the list. I didn't throw the list away, but I threw it in a box in my closet. And I focused on bringing in new people, always bringing in new people, showing the business new people, whether it be through social media today, through Zoom conferences, through home parties, however you're doing it, showing the business every day. That's what I got in my mind. And I started doing that. And I waited to find those people that would reach out to me, that were showing up, that were doing something. Those are the three things. They're showing up, meaning they're on the conferences and I don't have to remind them. They're doing something. They're actually starting to present and I didn't even hardly have to train them. And they're contacting me because they have questions. Those are the people that you want to work with. So work with those that step up versus those that need you. And number 6, know your numbers. Know your numbers. Just like that grid I talked about earlier. Know exactly how many people you're going to show it to every week, how many you actually show it to, how many people were interested but didn't sign up, and how many people actually signed up. I got some great advice from the top earner from my last company before I'd ever brought in a single person. He was the number 1 earner. He went on to make $30 million with our company, and I got some great advice from him. He said, the only thing you need to worry about, the only thing you need to think about is making sure that your report is bigger this month than it was last month. Make sure your downline report is bigger this month with customers and with distributors than it was last month. And if you do that every single month for a couple of years, you'll be home free. And that's what I did. Back then, our reports came in paper and on paper, and eventually it came in an envelope, and then it came in a box of like reams of paper. And but today it's all online. But you want to make sure that every single month there's new growth in your business. I'm just going to close by saying this. Smile is a great company. And they'll provide you with everything you need to have for a great opportunity. That's their job. You have one job, and that's to build your network, build the team. There's never been a better time. People are hungry right now. They're looking right now more than ever before. So I want to thank Jeffrey, Nicole, and Calvin for introducing me to you. And I wish you the best in your career, and we'll see you on the beach. Bye-bye.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I certainly can't wait to read Beach Money. Let's give Jordan another round of applause. Thank you so much, Jordan, for being with us and sharing such an amazing keynote talk with all of us at Celebration 2020. Our next speaker is a ranked believer out of Charleston, South Carolina. She's an Air Force wife of almost 15 years. Her 2 beautiful daughters, aged 7 and 4, help her in her business by modeling and doing some Facebook Lives. She used to be a corporate banker and left the workspace to be a stay-at-home mom after her second baby was born. Her Smile addiction started with the first dress and has led her to 3.5 years of fun running her own Smile boutique. It's helped her accomplish so much for her family and has been such a driving force in her life. She's grateful for the opportunity of not only being a merchandiser, but being able to present to all of you here today at Celebration. While we all spend more time at home watching the business world evolve before our eyes, it's easy to see that being creative gives you a huge advantage nowadays. And there's so many ways to sell in today's fashion world, both online and offline. Christy Brash is going to teach us the importance of trying different things and finding new and multiple ways to generate sales in your Smile business.
guys, my name is Christy Brosh. I am a believer out of Charleston, South Carolina. I have been with Dot Dot Smile for 3.5 years. My husband, Eric, is active duty Air Force, and we have 2 amazing little girls, Kaylee, who's 7, and Emily, who is 4. We really take this family part of the business to heart. My kids are very much a part of my business on the day-to-day, unboxing things, helping me hang, go live, all of those things. When I fell in love with our first dress, I knew I had to do something and I needed to be a part of this somehow. So once I found out, I have taken off running and have great mentors and people on my side to help motivate me, and I am just very grateful for this opportunity. You guys, when I first started, I just thought that it was going to be something that, oh, you get some dresses in, you take some pictures and you post them and they sell. Well, it's a little more than that. That does work, but you need to sell a feeling, and you are going to want to think of everything in a certain way. So what I have today for you guys is selling strategies for creatively selling those existing pieces of inventory. We all know we have things that we have sitting in our dot rooms or in the bin that we store all of our dresses, and you may not have new inventory on the way. So you have to think of something to do with the stuff that you have sitting there, right? So I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks that hopefully can help you boost those sales on your existing inventory. We're going to start by thinking of everything as brand new. It's brand new to somebody. They may not have ever seen it. You have to show it in a different way. You're going to have to make them feel excited about what you're showing them, okay? You have to emote those feelings through your camera into their living room or wherever they're watching your live or looking at your videos or whatever. They need to feel it, and you're selling that feeling. It's really important to remember that, okay? So it is contagious, and they will fall in love with those items too, just as much as you are emoting those feelings, okay? I have a handful of ideas, and I hope that you take some amazing notes. I personally really love live sales. At first I didn't, so it was very scary to go live and to think that you're talking to yourself in a room and no one is necessarily watching. So just remember, here's some tips. Just breathe and give it a try. Because you guys, lives are where it's at. That's where you can make those connections, and I truly love them. So hopefully you guys will take a tip from me on this first section of themed live sales. So I'm going to share a few different things that you can do. So you can do things like all of one color, all flowers, all animals, one certain style. You have to step out of that comfort zone and share these things live. You guys, these videos, that's where your connections are made. It can be a game changer, not only just for your sales, but for your interaction in your Facebook group. The more often you go live and have comments coming in, it boosts your algorithms, and people can see all of your stuff more often. So when you do post your albums and your inventory in a picture format, they are able to see those things better. Another thing that we like to do is my kids like to go live. Mostly Kaylee, my oldest, because Emily still doesn't grasp all the concepts of everything about all of our dresses, but Kaylee can describe those things and she gets so excited, and those people watching your kids go live are more invested than them and watching them sell the dresses sometimes than me. So I really like to get my kids involved. Kaylee is very, very good. She gets really, really excited, and she loves to see the hearts and the bubbles and the stuff come up. And then it also is teaching that confidence that we love to build within our company, you know, to teach those kids that they can do it too. And one day, Kaylee tells me she's going to take over my business, and I am all okay with that. So kiddo lives are great. You can theme those as well, or you can do like, because kids' attention spans are a little bit shorter, I try to focus on like 10 or 15 dresses for her to go live with. So you might want to start small, like maybe a dress of the day, a fab 5, her favorite 5, or his favorite 5, things like that, to start small and then see what attention span they're going to have for the dresses, because sometimes they're just like, okay, I showed my 5, I'm out. And sometimes they want to sit on there for an hour. So just kind of gauge your kid and see what they like the best. I try to do perks on those kinds of sales, like maybe like some free shipping. Like if you buy one of their dresses, you get a perk from me, like a Starbucks gift card or something like that. You don't have to feel like you need to do that, but you can. I try to give them a little bit of a perk when they're shopping with Kaylee. Another thing I do, like we talked about the lives, we're going to talk about some other things that can also help. I like to do styled wall drops. I like them because they are showing different ways to wear the same dress. So I can do like 5 different styles on one dress, or I can do one style and then you can see the same style in different dresses. So like the denim jacket, well, this one's hot pink, or this cute little lace jacket. So I can pull different dresses that could coordinate with that. And those you can do as wall drops. You can go live and show them outfitted. I have done lives in the past where they have seen me style dresses as I go, and that's super fun too. It shows how versatile the pieces are. I know we know the value of a dress, but sometimes for those first people, they need to see it. And that is the best way to show them, like, look at how great this dress is. You can put a denim jacket on it. You can put leggings with it. You can layer it and put another shirt underneath it, or whatever it may be. Another thing which I know we are going to have some training on also about hostess parties. Guys, that's just like a great way to get more interaction in your group. You are going to find new people to share your product with. You are going to have a whole new client base that can grow and grow and multiply off of these parties. And of course, the hostesses are getting perks, so they definitely don't mind sharing their group, or however you decide to do it. I do mine in groups, but however you decide to do it, they don't mind sharing it because they're incentivized. So I definitely try to set at least 1 or 2 of those a week, and I book via email first. So I have my email list I send out at the beginning of the month. These are my dates for this month. The first 4 to book, one of you will get double hostess rewards or something of that nature. You can really incentivize those first bookings for your month. Another thing we like to do here, since I have 2 daughters, we do sister sets all the time. I love my kids to match until they will tell me no. They will be matching as much as I possibly can have them. So we do a battle of the sets where Kaylee picks out her favorite dress that I have multiples in different sizes, and then Emily picks out hers, and then sometimes I pick out mine, and then we share them, and whoever sells the most gets a prize. So Kaylee gets LOL dolls, Emily likes books or anything Mickey Mouse. I just get the reward of having a successful business and just having fun with my kids, you know. That is so much fun to include your kids in any of these sister sets. I also have them model them if I have them in their sizes. That's always an extra perk. But you have to think, a lot of moms out there love to have their kids match. They also love to have their best friends match their kids. Their kids love to match each other, I mean. And cousins, neighbors, birthday parties, all of these things. Sometimes they're looking for a dress for everyone. So these are the best ways to show what you have in one size or in one dress in multiple sizes. Another thing that, of course, during this coronavirus COVID-19 time that's hard to grasp, but I do think it's very important, is getting out there to vendor events. I know those seem daunting too, because they are more setup is required for them, but they are so rewarding. My goal when I go to a vendor event is to hand out my whole stack of business cards that I bring. I try, of course, to sell the items, but they just feeling them realizing, oh my gosh, these are made from amazing material. They are well made. I have people that inspect the hems sometimes, see where the elastic lies in the waist. It's very interesting to watch other people experience it, smile for the first time in person. I definitely would suggest, and this is the one where I know Calvin has taught us, multiple times, and you probably hear it all the time from your upline and their upline. You have to open your mouth. You have to invite them into your booth, bring them over, ask if they have the child with them, like, oh, she looks like she's about this size. This is my amazing set of 810s. I'd love to have you try one for the first time, feel them, see which one you like the most, and and take it from there. If the kids are with them, they always pick the dresses that the parents wouldn't pick, almost every time. I know my daughters love the dresses that are more like the funky prints, or the geometrics, whereas I'm a sucker for all things floral, and I want them to wear all the flower dresses all the time. It is so vastly different from what they want. So if the kid's in there, the chances are that they're going to pick something different than what their mom is going to pick, and sometimes they may take both of them. Sometimes they won't. But if you give them your business card and say, hey, I'd love for you to follow me on Facebook, join my group now, and I'll give you a coupon, 5 or 10% off your first order with me. Just say that you saw me at the Apple Festival. And that gives them incentive to join. So vendor events are really great for that. Also, I carry business cards everywhere I go. So if I'm going to Target, I have a business card on me, because if my kids are with me, chances are they're going to ask what they're wearing and where they can find it. And so I love to have my business card. I also have business cards made for Kaylee. She is all out, so I have to order her some more. But so she can hand them out, and I normally have a dum-dum weaved into her business card. So it's really a great idea, and it makes her feel very empowered to be a part of mommy's business. So definitely think outside of the box sometimes, guys. I know I carry also some dresses in my trunk at all times, one of every size. So if somebody happens to be really, really intrigued, I can gift them a dress for their first try of Dot Dot Smile. And you'd be surprised how many people haven't heard of Dot Dot Smile, which is crazy, because like our stuff is so great, but they haven't heard of us. So getting them to experience it for the first time is really, really important. I know we've heard plenty about princess parties, and I know Allie Thompson and quite a few other merchandisers have done virtual princess parties during quarantine. And y'all, it's just a great way to engage customers in a different way. We also I've done birthday parties where the mom will purchase X amount for the whole party to each get to pick a dress. I know people have done like themed Easter egg dyeing parties, cookie decorating parties, gingerbread house building parties. The sky's the limit on these parties, okay? Get creative with those events as well. Something that also is great if you have some local merchandisers, and if not, I have another loophole for this, is a swap the shop. So if you're local to each other, my teammate and I, here's her picture. We have done a swap the shop where I go to her house and I go live from her Dot Dot area, and then she in turn comes to my house the next day or some other time, and she comes and swaps and shares my inventory with her people. So guys, it's a great way to get different eyes on your own inventory. Now, if you don't have any local teammates, that's okay too. You can do borrowed inventory where you are sharing their inventory with them, or you can just do where they go live in your group for you. So you guys can work some amazing ways to get all of these things accomplished within your team, within other merchandisers, not even in your team. You guys could do this together. I just hope, those are quite a bit of ideas, but I just hope that you guys have taken away some amazing ideas to help you boost those sales when you don't have new inventory. You guys, it's really important just to remember to be excited, because these dresses are amazing and we know that. So just don't forget it. I just want you to know that you can do this. You can do this too. You can do all of these things. You can do all of the themed sales. You can get your kiddos involved. You can do these styled flat lays. You can do a swap the shop. You can book your hostess party. You guys can do it too. Just really set your mind to it and don't give up. Keep trying. Of course, if I learned how to do it, you can learn how to do it too. All it takes is practice. Don't give up right away. Keep trying the things. It will stick, because I can tell you this much. Sometimes I have the mom brain, okay? If you don't practice it, you will forget it. So keep practicing, guys, and just be yourself. In these live sales and all of these things, just be you. Don't try to be a different version of you. Just be you, because y'all, I can be honest, I drop dresses. I stand there dumbfounded at what style I'm holding in my hand sometimes. I know the style's like the back of my hand, but sometimes I just forget. So it's okay as long as you keep sticking with it and just do your very, very best. You guys are going to be awesome and successful, and just stick to some of these great ideas. Try them all. And if you need anything, just reach out and I will gladly help you in any way, shape, or form. Bye, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Wow, Christy, thank you so much for sharing those tips on how to get more creative in selling in your business. Our next speaker has been a top leader, commission earner, and recruiter with Smile since 2017. From Minnesota, she works the business full-time and is also very involved in the Twin Cities theater community as an actor, singer, and director. She resides just out of Minneapolis with her dog, Ducky. You know, today everyone is looking for ways to promote their business online, and it's okay to pay to play. So please help me welcome our next speaker, Jackie Olson, who's here to teach you how to make successful sponsored ads.
Hi everyone, I am Jackie Olson, and I am so excited to get to say hi to everybody that is watching this. I appreciate it. Thanks so much, and thanks Smile for asking me to talk today to all of you. So wish we could be together in person, but life happens. So I hope you're all staying as sane and healthy as possible. All right, let's jump into it. So what I'm going to be talking about today is having successful ads run on Facebook. And I know that most likely people have probably tried boosting a post and be like, oh, like this sounds good, like let's try that. There are a lot of different YouTube tutorials. Smile has trained us on doing one for sales and targeting at last year's convention. So there's a lot of different ways, and I've been selling I've been selling the product for 4 years now, but solely with Smile since January 2017, and since then till now, I have tried a lot of different things. I've researched a lot of different things. I've taken courses, and I feel like I still know it can improve, but I feel like really, really happy about where I'm at, because I was getting so much. I needed to shut off my ad because it was so overwhelming. So let's talk about that a little bit. So we're going to go through what the ad looks like, and then also what I have been doing, because you can have the best ad, but unless you're converting that into recruits, which is the goal, then, like, why are we doing it? So going to talk about both sides of those. So what I'm going to start with is what the ad itself should look like. First and foremost, it needs to stay simple, like short sentences, nothing too busy, nothing with a ton of wording all over it. It's just information overload. I think Facebook, I want to say, like when you're scrolling, every 4 or 5 posts are an ad. So you need something that's going to grab their attention, and people, when we're scrolling, unless something grabs our eye, we're going to keep scrolling. So if you have like a billion words everywhere and a novel about yourself or the products or whatever it may be, I don't know about you, but I do not take the time unless their ad like super grabbed me. I do not take the time to read those short little novels. So I've definitely had much better luck with keeping it short, and I'm going to show my video for all you guys too, so you can see exactly what it is. The next thing is, yeah, so text, keeping things short. That goes for everything. That goes for the headline, the body of the ad, everything. You want something that's going to grab their attention, so that with the great incentives that have been going on, you can save, or you can get X amount of free retail for joining this month. Do you want to join a clothing boutique? And then the ad itself, which we'll get to in a second. Like, that's enough to grab your attention, I promise you. You don't need to think that you have to spew all the information at them, because they're just going to get overwhelmed. They're not going to be able to keep it organized and nice. I know if I get sent too many links, or to like, check out this and then check out this. Did you read this too? Like, I'm like, whoa, I don't even know where to start. So this is a really great way to make things starting. And since I've used this ad, I've recruited 19 since April. I want to say 19. Math. And honestly, guys, like it was going so I had to like stop accepting people into my opportunity group. But I'm not saying that to brag whatsoever, but like, I'm letting you know, if you're gonna do this, like, listen to me, because I know what I'm talking about. Promise you that. So that is the place that I am coming from, and I hope you all know that. So, because I want you all to succeed, right? Okay, so going back to the ad, keeping the title and everything short. Now, this is the part that is probably gonna freak you out the most. Ready? I feel like I have lipstick on my teeth. Am I good? Whatever, we're fine. Justin, can you edit that out? I'm just kidding, don't. Going back to the ad. The ad, again, this is gonna probably freak you out. It needs to be a video. And not just a video of ... smile. It needs to be a video of you. Again, as you will see in my ad that I will show you, you're going to see exactly what my ad is. And here's the thing, like, not only, like, if you cannot do a video, you need to at least do the slideshow option. Because again, you need to grab people's attention, and just showing one picture, now, like, people like to know, like, oh, there's more. I want to scroll that way now. Or this, and now this way. Now it's so fun. Look at us having fun scrolling. So you want to do carousels, but video, guys, with you, I'm telling you, this on top of locking down budget and who I was targeting, which I'll get to in a bit, by far, I know this has made a huge difference. And this is what we talk about all the time in ... Smile, how important it is for you to go live. Like, all my new people and my team, like, they know, like, the first thing, if like they're saying something's not working, I'm like, did you go live? Because that is how we connect with people. That's the only way we can through social media, is showing ourselves. You know, like, nobody's gonna know who this person is if you don't know what they look like. So instead of being like, what's this mysterious ... Smile Jackie Olsen page, and you know, there's a picture of a cute girl in a little dress, but like, who is she and what? Like, this is me exactly saying to them who I am and the next step to take. So in the video, I say, I'm Jackie Olsen, and over the past, 3 years, I have helped hundreds of women start their own children's clothing boutique from home. If you want more information, click the link below. I think that's what I said. I should have like wrote it down in front of me. Super short. That I just was me. Just hi. Just gotta smile. Look friendly. Want more information? Click the link below. And then after that, I had a one picture that like kind of fades up and out of the product. So I'm like, I want to make sure you know, like, I'm helping you. For one thing, I'm gonna help you with this opportunity. Also, like, here's a quick look at one of the, you know, of our clothing, our products, right? But yeah, I know like so many of you are probably like, I am not doing that, Jackie. Well, kids, hate to break it to you, but we gotta keep innovating with what we're doing. I know there are many other different ways to recruit. I have done my first, in 2017, I was all over YouTube, and I think I enrolled 71 people the first day we launched, and that was because I put myself out there, guys, on YouTube. So that's another thing. So when it comes to recruiting, like, and you can say like, Jackie, you're so confident. You're like, guys, like, I have so many struggles. Like, you just gotta let that go, because when I am here and when I'm with you guys, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my job, and that makes me happy. So I'm focused, and I promise you, if you can just let the other stuff go, you are able to go live. You are able to be confident enough as a leader and person that you can film yourself saying, I have an opportunity. You can start a children's clothing boutique from home. Click the link below for more information. Cute picture. Like, guys, I know you can do it. I promise you can. You have to continue to push yourselves always. And this was, I don't know, I'm trying to think now if I was nervous when I did that, and I don't think I was. It was kind of just like, oh, well, I want this to work. This has to happen, you know, submit, here we go. Yeah. So if you really want to do this, if you want to take the time and invest your money, this is the other thing, it's your money. You want the best thing to come out of it, right? Like, who wants to run an ad and not get anything from it? So do it. Yeah. Okay. Now going into the ad tag message. So one step back, my Facebook page, so when which is my ad is, your ads are run through your business page. This is why you need a business page. It leads them to my group. So you can do an automatic reply in your Facebook page, business page messenger. So somebody clicks on it, sends them there, and then it says, it's a generic, you know, I try to make it's important to try to not sound super copied and pasted, but you're a little limited when it comes to automatic replies. So just do the best you can. But I then tell them to join my opportunity group. And that is another reason why I was successful at the beginning, is because of my opportunity group, my team opportunity group. It's now, and I'll get to this in a second, solely run by myself. But in 2017, it was where, because this was before we had official teams, and I knew I needed a place to put everybody so I could give them information, because I was putting myself all over YouTube, interacting in all the groups and that sort of thing, when we were all kind of figuring out this puzzle, like who's going where. And after 2017, I really stopped using it that much. And when our trainings with Smile with the ad tag message came in, I was like, yeah, I need to make this a focus. And I want to make the ad, like, I need to do this. And I'm the type of person, like, I tell somebody that I'm doing it because I want somebody to know, like, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be amazing. Just give that a try. I know it can be easier said than done sometimes, but if you feel good about an idea, guys, just go for it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But when it works, like, holy cow, this is amazing. So just go for it. Okay, there. So then they can click on the link, so I can continue to just talk with them through the Facebook page manager, business page messenger, or the goal is to get them to my opportunity group, which they do. Now there's then 2 questions you need to ask to be able to get inside the opportunity group, and that is how you found the group, and if you are interested in owning a children's clothing boutique from home. It's important to know if people were they found me. I want to know, are people finding me on YouTube? Are people finding me, is this all from my ad? And 96 8% of the time it's from my ad that people are filtering in. And guys, I get easily 50 people want to join the group a week. And I shut it off because it got overwhelming, and I all of a sudden had 16 new people to train. And I was like, okay, like we need to get this figured out because that's a lot, you know? So it's just a lot. So that's just also a thing on being able to know your limits with recruiting, because it can get overwhelming fast, you guys. It's exciting and you want everybody to succeed, but also understand that you got to be smart about it, because as amazing as it would be to enroll 100 people in a day, and I honestly think that's completely possible to happen, are you ready for it? Sidebar. Okay. Oh, when I accept them into the group, and then I have a pin post at the top and I tag them, say this is information to start with, but I also message them because it's important that you initiate conversation right away. And another thing why it is good to ask those intro questions to your opportunity group is because you know right away the ones who are like super pumped about it and like really interested, because some people will be like, are you with their response to are you interested in owning a children's boutique from home? When they just say yes, like, yes, this is great, right? But then you get people like, yes, this is all I've ever dreamed of, like legit answers like that. So when I get those answers, I like 100% friend request them, because I know like if they're gonna show me that much passion right away, like go for it. And you kind of, it's a preference, you know, it's who you friend request. It can be a personal thing and that's a choice, but when you're running a business on Facebook, your personal profile is a reflection of your business now, and that's just the way it is. So there you go. Okay. I need to wrap it up. Okay, so who to target? Now, this is all about setting the targeting up. And Smile has done trainings that you can still access on this, and I can't tell you everything I target because that would be not smart of me. But what I can tell you is target people in who you want to be shopping with you, and who in recruiting whom you want to be working with. Maybe no, and that's why it's also important to know your mission statement as a team lead, as a merchandiser wanting to recruit. Like, why are you really doing this? Because that's going to help you know who to target. When it comes to the budget, that is going to be all on you. Basically, $5 a day is the bare minimum. But the way, again, there's already tutorials on this. It's up to you in the end if you want to put that budget in place. I did, especially when I saw my ad was working well, I put some more money in. That's something only you can decide. So that's why I'm being so like you're gonna try this, like what I'm doing and what's working so well, you gotta go for it. And I absolutely know you can. So just do it. Everybody, you're more than welcome to message me and ask questions. I'll do my best to I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Any other? Just know that it's a process to learn all this new stuff and putting yourself out there, and it's never going to be perfect right away. And try to focus on not too many things at once. I was ready to focus on a different way to recruiting because I had felt a little burnt out what I had been trying for so long, and I just like, again, to innovate and think of new things. So, but like I wouldn't have been able to put my energy in that if I didn't feel ready and comfortable with the stuff I was already doing. Like I was already doing my attraction marketing and that sort of thing. So just try not to overwhelm yourself. I know it can be hard in general to think you need to be on this, you need to be on this platform. I get it, guys. I'm totally there with you, but really lock it down, and Facebook ads are great. And a lot of what I just talked about can be applied for sales as well. Highly encourage a video for sure. Sales are quite easiest to get people to shop for the first time, but people do get that 15% off when they sign up for the newsletter, so you can include that on that ad too. It can be the same thing. It can just be you saying, hi, I'm well, obviously your name, and I have a children's clothing boutique featuring ... Smile. Please check out my shopping link below and enjoy 15% off your first purchase. Smile, done. You did it. You can do it, guys. That's great. Just be you. 'Cause you're awesome. All right. I think that's all I got for you today. I hope you learned a lot. I know this is going to push you, but if you want to build a team and recruit a lot, gotta go for it. Again, I wish we could all be together, but I'm so grateful that I was able to feel like I was sort of with you all. And I can't wait for us to be together again. And shout out to my team, Polka Dotties. You're amazing. And enjoy the rest of Virtual Celebration. Bye, guys. Hi, I'm Jackie, and over the past 3 years, I have helped hundreds of women have a children's clothing boutique from home. If you'd like more information, please click the link below.
Wow, Jackie, thank you for those incredible tips on how to make sponsored ads. That is very helpful, especially in today's digital age. All right, guys, our next speakers are sisters from Tennessee that joined ... Smile in February of 2017. And just last month, they were promoted to the rank of Believer. They both work full-time in the banking industry, and they also work their ... Smile business full-time. Jenna has 2 boys, True and Theodore, and Jansen does not have kids. They decided to jump on board with ... as something they could do together. It's become so much more than that for them. Their whys are often changing and evolving, but they are all just as important as the one before. This business has truly changed their lives. And you know, they say teamwork makes the dream work, so Jenna Sanders and Jansen Kelly are here to teach us how to build an amazing team.
My goodness, I'm so excited to be here. We are so thankful that ... Smile asked us to be a part of this opportunity. This is a huge thing for all of us to learn and to grow our businesses and ourselves.
So we are Jenna and Jansen. I'm Jansen.
I'm Jenna.
We're sisters from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and we have been merchandisers for 3 years. And in those 3 years, we've transformed our business from day one to where we're at now, and we just can't wait for the future and what's going to come in the next 3 years. So in those 3 years again, we've been able to build a strong team.
In the beginning, Jansen and I had this crazy mindset of we wanted to sell before we ever built a team. We wanted to ace selling. We wanted to be great at something before we tried to teach someone else. And man, like if I could just go back and say, no, I just almost regret. Well, I don't want to say I regret. I truly believe that we all go through things that bring us to where we're at now. And there's a reason. There's a reason why our journey went the way that it's gone. But in the beginning, we wanted to be really good at selling. And so we started to grow a team, and we had a few people on our team, and then it just kind of fell off. And then we trucked a little bit more and grew a team, and it just kind of fell off again. And so now, this is our 3rd time I call rebuilding
We'll just
a
keep
team.
rebuilding too. It's one of those rebuilding processes.
Yeah. So now we have over 60 girls on our team. We are so proud of that. We have learned so much going from practically nothing. Jansen and I have, before this, had no experience in network marketing or sales. I mean, I worked at a jewelry store when I was in high school. Like that's the extent of my sales experience. And so we've just learned so much, and this is just the most incredible opportunity, and we're just so honored to be here to kind of just share our story and to share some of the things that have helped us grow our incredible team Sister Squad. I always have to shout them out. They're the best, and just kind of how we got to where we are now.
So me and Jenna both work full-time in the banking industry. So when we decided to join Smile, Jenna kind of, if you know our story, kind of had to talk me into it. She's more of a risk taker. I'm more on the reserve side.
Nervous, leery,
shy. But I'm glad she brought it to me because ultimately it's brought me out of my shell. It's built our relationship super stronger. And so
you guys, we also talk on top of each other a lot. So just hang with us. She has transformed. She said it in the beginning, like we transformed our business, and it has. But she is a different person from the person when we very first started. And I'm just so proud of her.
Yeah.
I just shout you out a little bit.
So anyways, we both work full-time in the banking industry, so our everyday is getting up, clocking in our 8 hours, coming home and going to work. So when we started this business, we knew we wanted it to be a business. We wanted to run it as a business. And so from day one, we've worked 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 3 years, a little over 3 years. And so because we knew that's what we wanted when we started this business. And so we get up and we go, like I said, we clock in our 8 hours, we come home, we work. We stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning working. Most nights, I'm a late nighter. Jenna's an early morning girl. So
the late nights I had to really get used to.
Yeah.
But for me, I have 2 boys. Jason doesn't have any kids. I have 2 boys, and so I come home from work. We do our Smile work. I go home, feed my kids, bathe my kids, have some time with them, put them to bed, and then I'm up until most nights at least midnight, making graphics, scheduling posts for the next week. I think a lot of things with wanting to work hard, build a team, and sell is that it's time management. And so you have to take the time that you have and use it wisely. And so one of the things that I think you will successfully get out of Smile is taking advantage of every opportunity that they give us. You guys, they give us how many ways to earn income? Like so many. And it's just so important that you tackle every one of those opportunities. If you're selling, you need to be building a team as well. For us, I mean, I can tell you when we were selling how much we missed out on building a team because we just started really focusing on that. And then if you have a team, a huge team, or a small team, and you're not selling as much, then if that team happens to go away one day, what are you left with? You need to really focus on selling and team building and put them together and make them work together. And I think that's just how we really grew so much over the last year. Our last year has just really multiplied, and all of our hard work has paid off. And so for those of you that are just starting, or even if you've been around for a few years, it will come, your time will come. Yes, I would have loved this year to have been our first year, but there's a reason that it wasn't. And I'm just so proud of where we are now. And we've learned so much over the last few years.
I think also a big thing for us is consistency. Like I said before, we work 7 days a week. And so consistency is something big. I think that's a reason why we've been successful over the past 3 years. And so consistency in selling, consistency in posting, consistency in going live, consistency all the way around. And so within that consistency comes marketing. Jenna does, like she said, a lot of our graphics. We do a lot of marketing and a lot of building our own brand. And so with that, I want to talk about 2 different types of enrollment. So there's a direct enrollment and an indirect enrollment. And so the direct enrollment is people that you ask, people that you have a conversation with. Hey, have you ever thought of selling? Would you like to buy wholesale for your kids? Just asking them straightforward, do they want to be a part of this business? And then there is an indirect enrollment. And so indirect enrollment is somebody that comes to you. And some of you have probably experienced that. And that's somebody that's probably been watching you for a while.
We call them secret watchers.
So somebody that's been watching everything you do, your lives, your wall drops, your albums. They get to know who you are. They get to know what ... Smile is and what ... Smile is about. And so they're watching every move you make. It's people that don't interact, don't like your post, don't comment. And so they'll eventually come to you because they see what you're doing and they see what ... Smile is, and they want to be a part of it.
They're watching. They're always watching. Someone is always watching you. And don't you want to be the person that is always posting, selling, interacting, going live, sharing your opportunity? If I were just joining, I want to join the person that's running their business like crazy. So never ever just fall off. Even if no one, don't feel defeated. Even if no one comments or no one hops onto your live or no one likes your post, somebody's watching. And over the last just few months, we've had quite a few girls that I've never even seen their name before. I know we all have those people in our groups. The inactive people that you don't really see their name, you don't know that they're there. And then when these girls, came to us and said, tell me more about it. How do I sign up? I go to look to see if they're in our group, and they're in there. So whether they saw our post or not, somehow they heard about the opportunity and they reached out to us. So I really just want to go over a few things that I hope you can leave with this today and know these are the things that helped us grow, and I hope that you can take and learn from and apply into your business. So the first thing is sharing your why. It is so important to share why you're doing ... Smile and what ... Smile is doing for you. Someone told me this one time, that your why should make you cry. And I just thought, man, that's like a light bulb moment for me, because I was like, we talk about it all the time. You guys hear it. I know, because I do. Share your why, share your why. But at that moment, I thought, your why should be so important to you, and you should be so passionate about your why that it moves you to tears. And when that happens, you have to share it, you guys. Emotion draws people in. People want to relate to you. And the way they can do that is by you sharing why you're doing this. And also, I think sharing what ... Smile is doing for you. If ... Smile is helping you pay off your credit cards, if it is helping you take your kids to Disney World, if it is whatever it is, you have to share it, and you have to be proud of that success. I tell Jansen all the time, I think Jansen, we both struggle with this, but with Jansen, y'all, she paid off her house. She is debt-free 2 years earlier than her planned. I'm totally stealing your story. Okay, go ahead. I'm so proud of her. She's debt-free. She's 28, and ... Smile helped her do that. And sometimes she says, I don't want to share. I feel like I'm boasting, and that's not what it's about. I just tell her all the time I want her to be so proud, because
I am proud.
Because I know you are. But there is someone out there that needs that. We needed it, and we didn't even know we needed it. And so just share. You need to be sharing weekly. What ... Smile did for you this week, why you started ... Smile, the friendships you've gotten out of ... Smile. So just be sharing.
The growth in yourself.
Yeah.
That you've gotten out of ... Smile. Because for me, the fact that we're doing this, it's crazy that 3 years in and we're
speaking to all of you.
It's crazy. And so it's just me from the beginning to who I am now, as like Jenna said before, it's a complete transformation.
Okay, so side note, literally before all this, we were still in high school, and I had to call and order her pizza because she was too nervous to call Domino's to order pizza. Well, now she's running a bank branch, and she's just killing it in ... Smile. So share why. You connect with people when you share. And I want to dig a little deeper in that. You can make posts all day long. I think we should. I think we should make opportunity posts in our groups, but I think you need to go live. I think you need to talk about it. We started seeing growth in our team when we started having opportunity lives. And what we do is once a month, sometimes more, depending on, the incentive there is to sign up. But once a month, we sign on, go live, and share. We talk about why we started, all of the things I just mentioned to you, what Dot Smile has done for us. We just share, and that moves people, and it makes people connect with you on a deeper level. So I would really, really, really encourage you, if you haven't yet, to go live, share your why.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Yes. Share your emotion, and I promise you, you will see results from that. Secondly, what I want to talk about is relationships. So obviously we all know this business is more than just dresses, more than just boys' clothes. This is about making relationships. And for us, what has helped us is we have taken those relationships and cultivated friendships out of them. Mm-hmm. When I talk about friendships, this is what it should look like. You should know your customers' names, their kids' names, the size they wear, what their husband's name, what their husband does, what they do, what their kid's favorite color is, what things that you would want your friends to know about you. And what that does is it gives you an opportunity as a friend to share this incredible opportunity. You guys, we are holding on to a gift, all of us. And if you aren't sharing this, like Dot Smile has literally changed our lives, and I don't say that lightly. And you're holding that. Like we need to share. Everyone needs to share, because it can change someone else's life. So what you're doing is, when you can get an opportunity to talk to a friend, and a customer transformed to a friend, mm-hmm. you can share that opportunity. And then for us, and what we have seen is that those people feel comfortable enough, if there are reservations, that they tell us. And so then we can kind of reassure them as to why we think they'd be great. So just making relationships out of those, or friendships out of those relationships, just take it a step further and just grow your community. And the last thing is so simple, okay? It's so simple, but you just have to ask. And I tell this story. One of our girls, like I love dearly, she is from our town. It was a customer, and Jance and I were sitting on our front porch, or my front porch, and we had just uploaded albums. And I got notifications on my phone that she had liked like every album. I had 20 notifications from her. And I thought, and I looked at Jance.
She looked at me.
And I said, I'm about to ask her. I've never thought to ask her, was she interested in selling Dot Smile? So I looked at Jansen and I said, I'm about to ask her. She immediately messaged me back and said, I've been dying to. Like, had I not asked, mm-hmm. she probably still wouldn't be a merchandiser. And so I just love that all you have to do is just ask. The worst thing they're going to say is no, and that's okay. It's okay for someone to say no, because the more no's that you get, you're going to get some yeses. And I just know what this business has done for us, and that's what I want to share. That's what I want to give people, because it's just so good. It's just so good.
So the next thing is networking. We think networking is so important. Mm-hmm. Network marketing. So we both are involved a lot in our local community. We have quite a few local girls on our team, and we have grown. People get to know who we are in our community. People get to know what we do. It opens the door for the conversation of what Dot Smile is, if they've never mm-hmm. heard of it, which could ultimately get you customers, which could ultimately get you teammates. We're both part of boards and committees in our local community as well. So just getting to know people and having conversations get you out there, gets those relationships formed so that you can have the conversation of the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And so those are just a few things that we do that help grow a team. And so once you get your team, you obviously don't want to just leave them for themselves to try to figure it out, okay? There are just a few things we do for our team that I think is very important as leaders that we all should be doing. And Jance and I try very, very hard. It is very important to us that we lead with love and we lead with compassion. We are in a constant communication with pretty much everyone on our team, downline and even below her. It's just so important to us to have a community of women that love and support each other. And they all know that. We all love each other and we all support each other. And I think that you can cross lines. We've made so many connections with other girls through this company that I have fallen in love with that I didn't know that weren't on my team. And so it's just really important as a team leader, once you start growing the team, that you train your girls. We have about 2 trainings a week. Like I said, my messages are full of all of our girls in constant communication. It's very personal. And you have to guide them. You have to ask them their goals, how much time they want to spend to reach those goals, and see if those match up. When you sign on, it can be overwhelming because you have people who have been doing this for years and they're trying to compare themselves to you. And so you have to kind of narrow things down for them. And so I just want to say that once you start growing your team, it's very, very important that you make it a personal connection and work with them to grow so that they can be here 3 years later as well.
Yeah, you need to support them. That's one thing we love is support. Like, you can't do this business alone. And so that's one thing we love about our team is we support each other and we uplift each other. So it's just important that you do that with your team.
Y'all, thank you so much for listening to us.
It's been an honor.
This is so surreal. Like, if you would have asked us 3 years ago if this would be us, no way. No way. So you can do this too. If we can do it, trust me, if we can do it, you can too. So I hope all of you just take some of the notes that we talked about today, put it into your business, and just help grow an amazing team. See y'all later.
Bye.
And now, a special announcement. You guys have asked for this, and they're coming. Look for brand new solids on the upcoming This or That's.
All right, guys. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. We are so excited for this fun announcement of these new designs. You're all going to freak out. You're all going to love them. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get them photographed on models. We're all just making lemonade out of lemons over here, rolling with the COVID punches, right? Because of COVID, we weren't able to get the samples in time. And so we're able to show you guys with our awesome graphic designs and their great talent. We're going to share them with all of you. But as soon as we get the samples in, we will be doing a actual photo shoot so you guys can see the actual colors, but we didn't want to not share them with you guys. We wanted to share with you all of the beautiful, fun things that we've been working on. So without further ado, I hope you guys all enjoy this fun collection that we've been working on for a long time. I know that all of you guys are going to love it. Enjoy.
Wasn't that amazing? It's been an amazing, jam-packed 2 days worth of knowledge, hopefully fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed this time together as teams and have watched this online with your teams and have learned a lot. A lot has been shared, and we want to thank all the speakers, each and every one of you, for your dedication and the time that you took to prepare these amazing speeches. To all the merchandisers out there, whether you've been with us since 2017 or you're brand new to the business, we hope and pray that you guys can take everything that has been shared with you and, apply it to your business and your daily lives, to really, bring to pass your goals and your dreams. And that's ultimately what Nicole and I, hope for, is long-term success for you and your families here at Smile. And I'm confident that if you apply all those things that have been shared here today, that such will be the case, that you will find success. It all starts right here in our minds, right? So anyways, once again, just wanted to thank you all for being here, for tuning in, for choosing to play in our sandbox here at Smile. We really hope that this business is of value to you and your family, and is fun. Remember, that's the core value here, is work hard and have fun doing it. So hopefully you guys are having fun, you're finding joy in this journey, but also success. The beauty about this industry is you get to earn while you learn. So excited about that stuff and everything that's been shared. Thank you guys again for tuning in.
Yes, it was such an amazing past 2 days. I loved learning with all of you as well and hearing from all of our speakers. Great things to come. You guys keep believing yourselves, keep going, keep dreaming. Every day is a new day. Forgive yourself for any mishaps you might have and dust yourself off and get right back up. Who's excited for our new cruise incentive?
Alaska, here we come. If you haven't been on an Alaskan cruise, you don't know what you're in for. It's so gorgeous. And we thought it would just be a nice, change of scenery and pace. Trust me, you guys will not be disappointed. So many of you guys have already earned it. So congratulations to many of you. And again, this year you will have that opportunity to further advance as far as, what cabin you're able to get and secure for that cruise. So we look forward to cruising with all you guys in 2021. It's been way too long.
Oh, and heaven knows we all can use a vacation right now, right?
Absolutely.
We are also thrilled and excited for our new fun fashion collection.
What did you guys think?
Yes, you guys, it's amazing. It's going to be a great addition to your shops. I know all of your customers are going to love it and eat it right up. It's going to be so great. We are also so excited about our solid kind of drops that we are going to be having the next couple of weeks.
They're so awesome.
We know that each and every one of you are going to love those. They have been something that everyone has been asking for a long time. So we listen and we genuinely care. We love hearing feedback from all of you guys. Anyways, we love you guys so much. We are so happy that we were able to gather this way. Unfortunately, we weren't able to gather in person, but you know what? This is the second best, and I think it worked out, and it was pretty a great day.
And get excited. I mean, the fashion line, obviously we can't make that available today, unfortunately, because of circumstances, as you guys are all aware. But we will have that at a future date available to you guys, and get excited because the sky's the limit here at Smile. And there's so much that we can, make and add to this beautiful collection and to this amazing brand that is Smile. So we wouldn't be where we are today without you guys. So again, we want to just express gratitude and thank you guys for being here.
Love you guys.
And for all your hard work and dedication. Thank you guys for tuning in and being with us for these last couple days. Take care.
Bye,
God bless.
guys. See you later.
Bye.